Lovely stuff, and a very good morning to everyone. Thank you all for joining me today. My name is Chris, and I'm one of the Shortcuts educators here. So this morning we are going to be going through our cloud-based marketing bespoke messages and our new feature we launched a short while ago, pre-arrival forms. Now, if this is your first time joining me for a masterclass, thank you ever so much. And if you've joined me before, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. So a little bit of background with our masterclasses. They usually last for roughly 1 hour, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but I appreciate you may be joining me in between customers or anything like that. So first things first, the duration of this webinar, as we said, is going to be approximately 60 minutes. My microphone is switched on, whereas everyone else has automatically been muted. And of course, your speakers must be turned on to hear this webinar. Now, questions will be taken during or at the end of the webinar using the chat box, but I do always say, look, you know what? If you do want to unmute yourself, if you do want to have a chat with me, that's perfectly fine to do so. No issue there whatsoever. For a couple of people just joining us, a very good morning to you. We're literally just going through the introductions and just explaining that. It's going to be about 60 minutes long. And also as well, the classes are always recorded. So in the next couple of days, you can find them on our YouTube channel, which is Shortcuts UK, or you can request them to be emailed directly to you if you wish to. So then, to get started, we're going to be taking a look at cloud marketing campaigns. Now, essentially, you don't need to write this down or anything like that. My masterclasses usually consist of a couple of PowerPoints, and then we get right into the fun live stuff. So we're going to see all of this. But as an introduction, let's take a look at our cloud marketing campaigns. So we're going to be looking at the new client welcome one, and this message will be sent the day after a new client's first visit. We're going to be taking a look at the time to save again. And again, this will be sent for clients who have not been visited for 6 weeks with no future appointments. We'll also be looking at a We Miss You campaign. It'll be sent to non-returning clients who have not been back for 16 weeks with no future appointments. Happy birthday, a great one that's going to be sent on a client's birthday. We're going to be looking at a referral campaign. Now, this is fantastic. So this campaign will be sent to clients who have been referred, friends or family, the day after that referred client has visited the business. So essentially, when client A refers client B, and then client B comes into the salon, client A will get the referral for their loyalty. But a little bit more on that later on. We're going to be taking a look at the appointment acknowledgement, a fantastic email and or SMS to acknowledge that an appointment was made. That can be over the phone, face-to-face, or via the online booking or the mobile guest app. No-show, again, fantastic. Some of you will be using upfront payments, some of you will be using cancellation fees, but the no-show campaign is a fantastic email to sort of remind the customer, although they've sort of no-showed, again, it's that further indicator to sort of say to them, well, you no-showed, what happened? Maybe they weren't aware. Maybe they need to rebook. So again, it's keeping in touch with them. Pre-arrival instructions, and this can be sent a configurable number of minutes or hours or days before the appointment start time. So what our customers love and why our customers love it. So it's quick and simple to use. You're going to see over the next 45 to 60 minutes, it is super simple to use and you can get started almost immediately. It's accessible from a web browser. So if any of you have used a cloud appointment book before, you will know all you require is an internet connection. It's accessible via security level. So you might be watching this thinking, okay, I've got some of my staff members and they do use the cloud, Chris. Can I restrict their level of access because I don't want them accidentally sending out text messages or emails? Yep, that's absolutely fine. It's all accessible via a security level. Wording and images are customizable. Now, a lot of the logos will pull through automatically to save us time, so we haven't got to worry about that. But the wording and an additional image, all customizable to make that email more bespoke or to make that text message more bespoke. Send times for ongoing campaigns are already preset to sort of avoid errors, but they can be customizable to a degree. But we've done a lot of the hard work for you to take a lot of the guesswork out. You can preview and send test before activating. So before we hit that activate or before we hit that send button, we can see exactly how it's going to look in our inbox to really make sure we are going to love it as much as we know our customers will. And of course, you can set up email and SMS or both. So both platforms are covered there. And they can be made inactive with the touch of a button. So nice and easy if you're thinking that campaign's not working or you simply want to tweak it, you can make it inactive with literally the touch of a button. And you can check your return on investment for the campaign sent. So if you are doing a Valentine's Day campaign or a happy birthday campaign, and you've given a little bit of discount and you're thinking, I want to see how well that is working for me, you can track that on our campaign ROI, the return on investment. So from there, ladies and gents, it is time to move into our live demonstration. As we said, we usually just have a few PowerPoint presentations, but I'm quite a visual person. So for this Wednesday morning, let's get straight into our live demonstration. And for that, before we get started, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our Shortcuts Fusion system. Okay, so there's a couple of things we're going to take a look at in our Shortcuts Fusion system. And why are we going to do that? Well, they will all have a knock-on effect to your email and SMS campaigns. So the first thing for this morning, ladies and gents, we're going to take a look at is quite simply a discount reason. So why are we going to be taking a look at a discount reason? Well, if you're going to give any discount or promotions in any of your emails, we would always assign it to a discount code. Now, the reason we do that is for that previously mentioned campaign return on investment. It bridges the gap because, of course, when that client comes in bringing that email and they say I've been sent a fantastic Valentine's Day coupon, we need a way to redeem it at the point of sale screen. So we always assign it to a discount code, and we create the discount code or the discount reason in your Shortcuts Fusion system first. So to do this, on the right hand side, we're going to click onto Setup. And underneath this, we're going to click onto Configuration. To the left-hand side, we're going to choose the very far third option down that says Discounts. Now, you may already notice when you click the drop-down arrow to the top here, you already have quite a few options, and that's perfectly fine. You can always choose a specific discount reason and simply take the tick out of the active box here if it is no longer active. But I'm going to create my discount reason. I'm going to create a Valentine's Day one. So I'm going to click New, and I'm going to call it Val 14. And then we're going to click Done. At the top here, we've got a drop-down arrow. This is where we're going to choose the discount that is applicable to this Valentine's 14 discount. So I'm going to click the drop-down arrow. If it's a monetary value, we can choose fixed amounts. So this can be £5, £10, £22, £16, £50. Whatever we want it to be, ladies and gents, it is a monetary value on that fixed amount. Underneath, you will see some percentages. If the percentage that you want to use, for example, 14%, is simply not there, to the top right-hand corner, we can choose Add Default. And this will allow us to add in our own default percentage. We can now click the drop-down arrow again, scroll all the way down, and choose that percentage there. You can add a description if you wish to. You can also add in an expiration date to the far right-hand side. So maybe you want this to expire in 2 to 3 months' time. We can do that by clicking where it says expiry date, no date set, and setting an expiration date. If you are to do this, it should probably be in line with any T's and C's of this particular discount. Underneath, you'll also see this option here that says discount can be applied to. This is where we're sort of going to cement what the discount can be applied to. So I only want my Valentine's 14 to be applicable to services. So I'm going to untick product, and I'm going to untick sundry and gift certificates. This simply means my Valentine's 14% can only be redeemed off of services and series. You'll notice there is a tick box here that states default amount. In this case, it is 14%. The default amount cannot be changed at point of sale, and that simply cements or glues it at a hard 14%, meaning no cheeky staff members can accidentally change it from 14 to 20 or 50%. It cements it at that 14%. We're going to click Save, and then we're going to click Done. And you may just have to give a quick restart to your shortcut system. So the reason we do that first, ladies and gents, will become apparent in probably about 20 or 30 minutes. But essentially, any discount codes we created there, such as the Valentine's Day 14, will pull through to your cloud-based marketing in about 5 to 10 minutes. So pop that aside for just one sec. We've also spoken about referral campaigns, and you'll see in your cloud-based marketing, we have a referral option. Now, how this works is when a customer comes in and refers somebody, they will have to be put onto the client profile. There's a very quick way to do that, but to give yourself a head start, it would always be worth having the referral options available to you when that new client visits. For example, if I'm a new customer and my partner referred me, when I'm making an appointment as a new customer, it would be an advantage for the salon or the barbershop to be able to choose my partner's name as the referee. So what we're going to do on the right hand side, we're going to click onto Setup, and we're going to click onto Configuration. Towards the bottom left hand corner, we're going to click onto General. And we're going to choose Clients towards the bottom left hand corner. Now, while we're here, you'll see there's a third tab along the top where you can add in any new referrals. You can simply click New to add in any new referrals. And you will notice the top one here is another client, and that will trigger the referral campaign. So the fourth tab along the top, we were going to choose New Client Layout. And just here, it would be worth for the quick column, just ticking Referral Method. And then click Done. And that will now quite simply mean when we are making an appointment for a new client as normal, it will have the referral method just here. And hopefully that customer will say to us, yes, my partner Millie, she referred me to your salon. So when we're filling out the details for myself as a new client, I can now click Another Client, and I can choose that customer who referred me. So we're just giving ourselves a bit of a head start there. So from here, we can now move to set up our cloud-based marketing. But before we do that, there's a little bit of background information we're going to take a look at. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our online console. Now to do this, what we're going to do is open up our preferred internet browser. And we're simply going to type in console.shortcutssoftware.com. console.shortcutssoftware.com. Now, this is only sort of a little bit of background information. Some of you may have already done this. So the first thing we're going to do is on the left-hand side, we're going to click onto Site Settings. If you're a multi-site user, you can change the drop-down arrow in the top right-hand corner. And we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where we have our site logo. Now you'll notice my site logo has already been uploaded. So why do we upload the site logo? Well, quite simply, your logo will pull through to your cloud-based email campaigns automatically. So we just need to ensure that that is there. We can simply click Choose File and then upload the image. And just make sure we click Save in the top right-hand corner. From here, we're going to click Home on the right-hand side. And now we're going to choose a center tile that says Online Booking Settings. And again, some of you may have already done this. We're going to scroll down and we're just going to ensure, not online booking settings. We were in site settings. Sorry, I do apologize. Where we were in site settings. And we're just going to make sure we have our website and our Facebook and our Instagram information in there as well. So why do we have that information in there? Well, exactly the same. All of that information will pull through to your email campaigns automatically. So the website, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, and your site logo as well will all pull through automatically. And then we're just going to click save. And then we're going to click home. And now this time we are going to choose the online booking settings. So why are we now clicking onto this? Oh, you will see in a little while, we have an option called the appointment acknowledgement. Now, sometimes this can throw us for a little bit of a loop if we're not quite sure. So if you have online booking set up, you may have ticked this box here that says send booking confirmation email, which will automatically send out a confirmation email when a customer books online. Now, in a moment, you're going to see we have a shortcut marketing feature called the appointment acknowledgement. And if you do use the appointment acknowledgement, it will automatically switch this one off. Now, if you were using the send booking confirmation email, some of you may be blind copied onto that confirmation email there. If you do use the shortcuts marketing feature to send appointment acknowledgements, that will switch off the booking confirmation email, and therefore you will no longer receive the blind copied confirmation email. So just wanted to just sort of let everyone know that. So from here, we can now go to our cloud appointment book, and in the top right-hand corner, you can see we have an option here that says Shortcuts Cloud. We can click onto Shortcuts Cloud, and it will take us to our cloud appointment book. Now, as we said at the very beginning, it is configured via security level. So if you are a manager or an owner or director watching now, and you may be a little bit concerned that you're thinking, I've set up quite a few of my staff members with the cloud, and I'm happy for them to make appointments, but I don't want them to be, accidentally sending out emails and text messages and things like that. You can configure it via security level. So in the bottom left-hand corner, we're going to choose business settings. And we're going to scroll down to roles and permissions. Choose the correct role type on the left. Some of you may just have employee and site manager. Some of you may have custom role types, such as assistant manager here. Simply choose the relevant role type. Click the red word permissions. And then scroll down. And you can start to expand the permission categories. Now, if we expand configuration here, you can see there is an option that says I can configure messages, and that will stop any staff members under this employee role being able to configure messages. Excellent stuff. So we're now ready to take a look at our cloud-based marketing, and that is on the left-hand side, the speech bubble that says messages. Now you'll notice we have quite a few message types, and you can see they're categorized such as after booking, before arriving, after visiting, and some ad hoc ongoing marketing campaigns, as well as once only or one-off marketing campaigns. All of them above the one-off campaigns, quite simply, will be continually sent out. They are what we call like set and forget. They are ongoing campaigns. So let's take a look at our campaigns. Okay, we've got quite a few of them on the left-hand side. Now for this morning, ladies and gents, I feel confident you're all going to absolutely smash this, and I'm not going to go through all of them. They all open up in exactly the same way. It's only the send schedule that changes. But of course, if you do require further assistance, please feel free to drop me an email afterwards. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at one of my favorite ones, and it's the Happy Birthday campaign. So I'm going to choose Happy Birthday on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we make it nice and simple. We've got the campaign name. You can change that if you wish to. We've got the description. This is an ongoing campaign. And of course, it will message customers on their birthday. And by default, the send schedule, this message will be sent at 9 a.m. each day to all clients who are having a birthday. We can configure the gender here. And we can adjust the send time here. Now, it is worth noting, ladies and gents, that the send time is on the hour or half past the hour. If you do change it to something such as 9:45 a.m., it will automatically change it to 10 a.m. Underneath, you can see we've got the two different platforms to send this out. It can be sent out via email or SMS, or quite simply both. So we're going to click onto email. And you'll notice at the top here, we've got our display logo. Now that logo will pull through automatically from your site settings here. So again, if we scroll all the way down, it will pull through from there. So that's why we uploaded that just a few moments ago. Now your display image is an additional sort of feature image to sort of make this campaign look that little bit more attractive. All we need to do is simply tick the box and click on to choose file. You can grab one from Canva or Google as long as there's no copyright issues. We would recommend that the display image sort of befits the subject. So for this, maybe cake and candles, maybe balloons, something like that. Underneath, we've got the subject. Now this is what the customer will receive in their inbox. Think of it almost as the title. Now you can see I've got happy birthday, and to the right of that, I've got customer first name. Now anything in these double brackets here is what we refer to as a personalized field. And that simply means it will bring that information through automatically. So if it was being sent to me, it would say happy birthday, Chris, and it would bring that name through automatically. Now, if I was to delete that out, please don't write customer first name in brackets or anything like that. You will see we have a handy drop down arrow to the right hand side that says insert field. And we can choose from one of the personalized field options here. So for example, I can click customer first name and it will add that in just there. Now, as a handy tip to avoid clerical errors, we would always recommend leaving a space here. Otherwise, if we do the personalized field directly next to it without leaving a space, it will quite simply say happy birthday, Chris, and it will look like a clerical error. So just make sure we've got that space in there. Now, it is also worth not having loads of exclamation mark. This can often trigger spam filters in the customer's inbox. And also try and stay away from things such as smiley faces and too many characters. One exclamation mark should be fine. Underneath, we've got the body of the email. Now, this is the main body of the email. This is basically where we want it to say everything that we want it to say. So again, we've got that personalized field here. And from all of us here, again, at business name, that will pull through from site settings. We wish you a very happy birthday. To help you celebrate, we thought we'd send you a special little birthday present, a voucher to use at your next visit. Now, of course, you can edit this, you can change this, you can add in any text that you feel applicable. But we've done a lot of the heavy lifting. We've done a lot of the work for you. Underneath, you'll notice we have an expanded offer box. We've got the offer text at the top, and you can simply write in anything you want. So it could be £5 off, £10 off, 14% off. Underneath, we have a discount code. So you may remember one of the very first things we did in our main Shortcuts Fusion system was to create a discount code. Now the discount code will pull through here. So you may remember the very first thing we did was create that so it can pull through here. Now I already had one called birthday, but if we hit the drop down arrow, you can see there's the one I created just a few moments ago, Val14. So again, why do we use those discount codes? For a couple of reasons. Quite simply, when the customer brings it in, we can redeem it at the point of sale screen. And of course, we can use the code to track our return on investment. We can see just how much money was made from this campaign. Underneath, we can also add in any relevant terms and conditions. We've got a Book Now button that will bring your online booking platform through automatically. Some of you, when you're doing this, you may have a check-in now button. If you're not using the self-check-in button, I'm not using it on mine. If you're not using it, you can simply click the cross in the right-hand corner for self-check-in, or book now if you're not using online booking as well. Underneath, we also have a sign-off, and this is basically a footer. So we hope you have a wonderful birthday, business name, business address, and then phone. Just get rid of that. If you do make any mistakes as I did there, you can simply click the insert field and just add that in there. And let's just add our address in there just to make sure. Perfect. If you don't wish to use the personalized field, that's not a problem. You can simply manually type out the business name or the business address, but we're looking at saving you time. So from here, we can now click the preview button. And there it is just there. So you can see our logo that pulled through automatically from site settings. We've got our additional image there that we uploaded. And then we've also got everything here. So there's my offer, there's the book now button. And then right down the bottom, we've also got our social media links. Now we are working on just changing the imagery just here. So please don't worry about that. That is the social media images just there. And of course, there's always an unsubscribe from our emails button as well. Now you will also notice to the right hand side, there is a send test button. You can send a literal test to yourself. So you can check that the personalized field options are working. You can check everything is exactly how the customer will receive it. Now, just to let you know, ladies and gents, when you do receive a test email, if you do send yourself a test, if you use a personalized field, for example, like I did here, that says customer first name, the customer first name will almost certainly be John. So if you do get that, it's just proving that the personalized field is working. So that's perfectly fine. To the right hand side, we can scroll down and we can click activate as well. Now underneath this, you'll also have the SMS platform too. And with any campaign that you send out, you can always send it out via SMS as well. You have an option here when you send the SMS to send always or only when no email will be sent. So if you feel it's not an overly important email and you're happy for the customer to receive an email but not the text message, the text message will only be sent when no email is sent. With text messages, it's quite simply that it is purely text. There is no imagery, there is no logos or anything like that. Please do keep an eye on the amount of characters used as well to avoid going in to 2 or 3 messages. And you've still got the option to use a personalized field here. When you're happy, you can click the green activate buttons. And then we can click done in the bottom right hand corner to save our changes. Now, we're also going to take a look very quickly at our referral thank you campaign. Now, again, if we just circle back 5-10 minutes ago, remember we added in that new client layout to add in that referral option, and that's where the referral thank you campaign will come into play. So again, if we just take a look at this message will be sent at 9 a.m. to clients who referred someone the day after the referred client's first visit. Underneath, we've got the email exactly the same as before. The layout is exactly the same. It's only the send schedule. So I'm just going to go back to my campaigns and I'm going to take a look at this one here. Where is it? No show, what happened? Now, this is a fantastic campaign to have set up, and this message will be sent to the client 30 minutes after their appointment is marked as a no-show. Now, again, the layout of this is exactly the same, but this is a fantastic campaign. So you can see here the standard body is, we were expecting to see you at the business today at appointment time. Please call us to rebook your appointment. So we're keeping in touch with that customer. They may have simply forgotten, they might have had an emergency. But this campaign is also a very good way to also see if we are getting quite a few no-shows. But in particular, the reason I wanted to show you this campaign this morning, ladies and gents, is more for how it works. So you can see this message will be sent to the client 30 minutes after their appointment is marked as a no-show. So, for example, if I go to my shortcuts, lovely, I apologize for the slight delay there. So what you'll notice at the top here, I've got my customer Dan, he no-showed, and I've marked him as a no-show just at the top here. Now, sometimes you may no-show a customer and then you may delete them almost immediately. For the no-show campaign to work, please ensure that you leave them in the diary for at least 30 minutes for it to trigger that campaign from there. So if you do mark them as a no-show, please wait a good 30 minutes before deleting them in order for that campaign to be triggered. Because for the campaign to be triggered, it will have to identify that this customer was marked as a no-show. And also, we kind of give the customer a bit of a benefit of the doubt. If you mark them as a no-show and they sort of turn up 5-10 minutes later and then they get the email going, oh, you know, we were expecting you, we don't want them to get upset with us or anything like that. So there's a 30-minute sort of delay to sort of cater for the customer running late and any sort of ad hoc issues like that. So just always make sure, if you do use that campaign, it's a great campaign, just make sure you do mark it as a no-show and then just wait sort of 30 minutes. And that's the no-show one there. Now, also one of my favorite ones we're going to take a look at is the appointment acknowledgement. Now, this I recommend pretty much everyone should be using. You can change the acknowledgement to go from 5 minutes or any amount of minutes, apologies. You can go any amount of minutes, any amount of hours, any amount of days after the appointment is created or changed. Now, this appointment acknowledgement is basically a booking confirmation, but it's not to be confused with your text message reminders. Our text message reminders typically go 1 day before, 2 days before, 3 days before, whatever it may be. The appointment acknowledgement goes out after they've made their appointment. So you can see here, mine goes 5 minutes after the appointment is created or changed. And that is all appointments face-to-face, over the phone, online booking, mobile guest app. So we're essentially covering it at both ends there. 5 minutes after they make it, and then if they make their appointment and it's not for 2 weeks, they'll get the text message reminder 1 or 2 days before. So this is the acknowledgement that the appointment was made. Now, also is triggered after the appointment is changed. So the customer may ring up and change their appointment from Thursday to Friday. And again, 5 minutes after making that change, they'll receive the appointment acknowledgement. So we're keeping that customer up to date. And that will work if they do it themselves via their online booking or mobile guest app platform, or of course, if they do it face-to-face with front of house. Now, we've all been there. Let's say we make an appointment for 1 o'clock and I've got the customer on the phone and they make the appointment for 1 o'clock. And then they say to us, okay, can we make it for 1:15? And we move it from 1 to 1:15. And then they go, oh no, let's move it back to 1 o'clock. That's perfectly fine. There is a 4-minute grace window to cater for those changes. So if you do book it in at 1 and then move it to 1:15 and then back to 1 and then 1 to 15 again, everything like that, you've got 4 minutes before it is actually triggered. If you make the appointment longer, so maybe the client has lots of hair and you make the appointment duration longer, that will not affect the campaign. It's only if you adjust the start time. So that is a fantastic campaign, that one there. Now we're going to go back to our campaigns and we're going to take a look at our once-off marketing campaigns. Now these are a bit more seasonal, shall we say, because they are only sent out the once. Now we've got message all clients and we've got a targeted campaign. Message all clients, as the name suggests, will go to pretty much all customers in your database that are opted in to receive marketing. When we go into message all clients, you can click new in the bottom left-hand corner, and you'll notice this is completely blank. So this is a perfect campaign for Valentine's Day, for Mother's Day, for Father's Day, Christmas, things like that. Or if you just need to send out a once off email or SMS. Maybe you're having a location change. Maybe you're having opening hour change, anything like that. And it's purely sent out the once. So what about then if you're thinking, okay, I don't want to send it to all of my customers. I want to send it to a few select customers, or I want to get right into the nitty gritty. I want to start doing what we call transactional marketing or targeted marketing. Now, if you've never done targeted marketing before, or transactional marketing, it is a fantastic way to organically upsell and at the same time offer that little bit extra to the customer service. So we're going to take a look at that now. So again, to the left-hand side, we're going to choose message type. And we're going to scroll down to our once-off campaigns. And we're going to choose a targeted campaign. To the right, you can adjust the send time and the send date. And you'll notice there are two ways we can do this to affect the recipients. We can click the drop-down arrow and change appointments within a date range. Now, this is perfect. I spoke to a lady the other day. She mentioned she was going to be stuck abroad and she was going to be a day late getting back. And she wanted to let all of our customers know that she was going to be coming back a day late. So she used the appointments within a date range and selected the day in the future or the 2 days in the future where she wasn't going to be available in the salon. This is also good if you need to backtrack. So we also had a salon very recently with those terrible floods. They were flooded with the storms. They were flooded and they weren't able to get into the salon, and they had customers that no-showed naturally, cancelled or deleted their appointments, and they wanted to backtrack in the week that they were closed and sort of email all of those customers as a priority. But if we click that drop-down arrow and we use the imported customer list, and you'll see it says upload the exported list from Fusion. Now, Fusion is the name of your main shortcut system. So we are going to import a list that we've exported from the shortcut. So how do we do this? So we simply open up shortcuts. And on the right-hand side, we're going to click onto tools. And we're going to go down to marketing. Now, there's sort of no one size fits all with this, so have a play around with it and see what works best for you. But essentially what we're doing here is we're creating a list of customers. We're targeting those customers. Could be on demographics, it could be on non-returning, it could be on whether they're a new customer, it could be quite simply on services they have or haven't had done, or products they have or haven't purchased. So we're going to start very simply. Towards the bottom left-hand corner, we're going to click onto clients. And at the top here, you can choose the town if applicable. So if you need to target customers based on their town or location, you can do so. To the right-hand side, you'll see there's an option here that says preferred employee. Now, you may or may not be aware that in shortcuts, when a customer sees an employee 3 or more times consecutively, they are defaulted to their preferred employee. So maybe you want to send out an email campaign of one of your staff members that is going on maternity or paternity leave. Maybe they've had a price increase, a promotion, maybe they've changed their hours, and you want to send, air quote, an email to all of their customers. So we don't want to send it to everybody, we just wanted to send it to the preferred employee of that customer. So I could send an email to Chris, the employees, customers, and let all of his customers know. To the right-hand side, if you are using a loyalty club or membership program, maybe you want to let customers know that their membership points are expiring, or to simply say you are changing the T's and C's, or you just want to remind all of their customers that they are part of the loyalty program and they are valued and they are accruing points. You can do all of that there as well. So you can see how we're starting to target our customers. You can also do new clients, clients who refer, and non-returning clients. Now, you will notice in particular that these three do form part of our cloud-based marketing campaigns automatically, but you can adjust the send schedule a little bit more bespokely here. And then we're going to click cancel. So let's take it one step further. Okay, so we're going to get right into the nitty-gritty of our targeted marketing. And we're going to use this screen here where it says services done, services not done. So this is what we call transactional marketing. This is a fantastic way to organically upsell or increase the service level package. So towards the top here, you can see we've got services done. And to the right, we've got categories and services. So if we click categories, we can be nice and generic, and we can find anybody that has had any color service. They visited for literally any color service, but they've never visited, so service is not done, for a styling service. So we would now have a list of customers that visited for any color, but never visited for any styling service. And we can delete those out and be nice and specific. We can click onto services towards the top right, and we can be very, very specific in what we do. So we can go down to our color here. We can choose half head of highlights. And for services not done, we can choose full head of highlights, for example. And that would create us a list of customers that have only visited for half head, but not a full head. We can then take a look at our products purchased. Towards the top, you've got companies, lines, and products. So again, we can be nice and generic and say you've always purchased any product from Kerastars, but you've never purchased any product from Redken. And of course, there are other product companies available. That would find us a list of customers that purchased any products under the Kerastars company, but no Redken. So we're sort of trying to upsell that company to that company. And again, we can delete this out, and we can choose the lines of products. We can say you've always purchased the Age Smart range. Actually, let's do this one here. You've always purchased Biotech, but you've never purchased a product from the Biotech support line. And again, last but not least, you can be very specific with your products. So you could say you've always purchased, what have we got? Let's take a look. You've always purchased the Daily Moisture Shampoo, but you've never purchased the Daily Conditioner. So we're sort of upselling, we're sort of saying, look, you've always purchased that Daily Moisture Shampoo, but we think the American Crew Daily Conditioner will really befit your take home and really help to enhance that service or your take home aftercare. So we're sort of upselling across there. And you can also do it as well. So if there's any sort of lash techs in, you can say you've always had a service for eyelash extensions, but you've never purchased the correct mascara or the correct cleanser or the correct tone or anything like that. You can also do, if you've done hair extensions, you've never purchased the correct paraben-free or the correct bristle brush. Now, one of my favorite ones, ladies and gents, and I feel everyone can get involved with this one here, is I'm going to choose my services done for categories, and I'm going to choose color. And that will be any color service. But under my services not done, I'm going to go to my specific services. I'm going to go down to my treatments, and I'm going to choose, let's say, an Olaplex hair treatment, for example. And I'm going to click done. If you've had shortcuts for a long time, you may wish to adjust the start and end date. And then right down the bottom, we are now ready to compute this list of customers. So down the center bottom, we're going to click onto compute. You will always get the warning message just letting you know if anybody has opted out of marketing. That's perfectly fine. And then we click done. So we can see here we have a list of customers. We can see the results figure on the right hand side. I've got 36. So I've got 36 customers here that have visited me for a color service, but never an Olaplex. Now you may wish to include to include some exclusions. I don't know if that's the correct term or phrase, but you may wish to add in some exclusions here or exclude certain parameters. So for example, if you're going to send this campaign out via email, you may wish to exclude the customers that do not have an email address on file. And we can tick the box just here. Now, when you do this, please do not worry. It's quite common that we lose quite a few customers because naturally we will not have all of our customers' emails on file. And you may also wish to exclude the customers that have opted out of marketing. They will not receive the campaign, but it will of course throw our figures out because currently it looks like 9. But if I exclude the customers that have opted out, it drops me down to 6. So essentially I've got 6 customers that have an email address and are opted in and have visited me for color, but not an Olaplex treatment. Now, when you're happy to proceed with this, we simply click Save. We will rename the client list because essentially all we're doing here is creating a list of customers. We're creating a document. And then underneath that, ladies and gents, probably one of the most important tips I can give you for this morning's masterclass is to click onto this Browse button. So why do we click onto Browse? Well, what we do is we're looking for a location to save this document. You'll notice it's saved in a folder called Letters, which is saved in a folder called Point of Sale, which is saved in a folder, which is saved in a folder, which is in a folder. Now, it is beautifully secure, but we may not find it again. So it is worth just choosing a location you feel confident that is secure, but you will be able to find again. We would recommend perhaps creating a secure folder to save these documents into. And then just simply click Save. From here, we can go back to our targeted campaign. So remember, we're using the imported customer list. And we got an option here that says Choose File. We will simply click on to Choose File and upload that document. And it's usually at that stage you think to yourself, where did I save that to? And of course, from under there, you can go ahead and expand email, expand SMS if necessary, and you can create that beautiful email saying, Dear customer, you've always had a color service with us, but we notice you've never had an in-color treatment, and we're going to be offering you 5% off or 10% off, whatever it may be. And you can use your logo at the top, which will pull through from site settings, and of course your display image there as well, which you can grab from Google or Canva or any other relevant platform. And that is our targeted campaign. Now, what we're going to take a look at now, ladies and gents, is our brand new feature, pre-arrival email forms. Now, if you are using custom CICs or custom forms, you can use those too. So what exactly is pre-arrival email forms? Now, it's a fantastic feature if you want to send out a patch test form or a disclaimer form prior to the customer arriving at the business. So it's going to streamline the appointment because they're not filling out anything when they arrive. We can securely email the new client form, the waiver, the skin test, the patch test form, whatever it may be. We can email it to the customer prior to. So if you are using custom forms, that's perfectly fine. So this is what custom forms look like here. So if you are using the custom forms, this is what they look like here. So you may have created these before. If you are interested in creating your own custom forms, please let us know. That can easily be added onto your package, but it's a great way to sort of create your own skin test forms, waivers, disclaimers, anything you like. And it can use a combination of drop-down arrows, multi-select fields, imagery, logos, camera buttons, signature buttons as well. If you're not using custom forms, it will just email the standard client information form, first name, last name, phone number, email, everything like that. So how do we then set up pre-arrival email forms, forms that can be securely emailed to the customer? Well, it's all done via your cloud appointment book, and it's all done via messages on the left-hand side. And it utilizes the appointment acknowledgement campaign. So if you were to go into the email, there's an option just here. So if I just very quickly deactivate this so we can see there's a forms field just here. And it says, please ensure you complete the following form or forms prior to arriving for your appointment. And you'll notice there is a personalized field here, which will link the forms in the email. Like I said, that will be these custom forms here, or the standard client information form. If you do accidentally remove the link to forms, you can add it in using the personalized field option just here. And then we can click save. So we would now be ready to determine which services require a form sent, because it may be all of your services requiring a new customer form, or it may be simply a color service that requires that custom skin allergy patch test to be sent to you. So how do we send that out? And how do we then determine which services require the form to be sent? So on the bottom left-hand corner, we're going to choose business settings. And we're going to go down to customer forms just here. On the left-hand side, you will see a list of your custom or standard client information form here. So that's a standard client information form. To the right-hand side, you can determine whether this will be sent to new clients, existing clients, or all clients. And you can then determine the time frame. Will it be sent once, every visit, or every X amount of days, weeks, or months? Underneath, we can now choose the services. So which services are going to require this form to be sent out? Simply click on to select services. You can tick the box next to the service category if all services within that category are applicable. Or if it's going to be a few select services, you can simply expand the category by clicking the drop-down arrow and tick as applicable. Click Done in the bottom right-hand corner to save your changes. So that will now simply mean when, I've got to add in my value. Let's do it every visit. So you can now see this feature requires the appointment acknowledgement email to be enabled. So we can now go back to our messages on the left-hand side. And if you haven't already activated your appointment acknowledgement, simply click appointment acknowledgement, go down to email here and scroll all the way down and click activate and then click done. So it will always let you know as we demoed there if it hasn't already been activated. So how will it work? When an appointment is made, you will see it goes into the yellow review mode. When we tap onto the appointment, you can see any forms that have been sent to that customer. The red cross to the right-hand side will identify to us whether they have or haven't filled out the form. So you can see here, they have been sent the form, but they haven't filled it out. So what will the form look like? And it will look just like this here. You can see it contains an email with a secure link. The customer can simply click onto the form and it will take them to fill out all of that information. When the customer has filled out the form, a green tick will be placed next to it, just like that there. If we need to see what the customer has filled out, we can simply click on the name of the form here. So I could click onto skin allergy test and it will show me what the customer has filled out just here. And last but not least, if we need to resend the form because time is ticking and we need to get that form filled out prior to them arriving, they can always do it when they arrive, but just to sort of save time, if you do wish to resend the form, you can tap onto the appointment, click the three dots, and resend forms just here. Now this will only resend the forms that have not been filled out. So in my case, it would not resend the skin allergy test, okay? It will not resend that one just there. And there's our pre-arrival email forms utilizing the appointment acknowledgement email campaign. Now, The pre-arrival email forms are just simply that. They are emails. They cannot be set up to go out via text message. So last but not least, with just 1 or 2 minutes to go, I'm going to squeeze this bit in. It's been a lot to take in, I do appreciate. But bespoke text messaging, can we do it? Yep, absolutely. Bespoke text messaging is a fantastic way if we really need to get hold of that customer and the email hasn't worked and they're just not picking up the phone. So how do we do that? And we can do that via both the cloud or your main Shortcuts Fusion system. So all you need to do is tap onto the appointment in your cloud, click the 3 dots and choose SMS customer. In the box here, we can create a bespoke custom message to this customer. Now at the top, you will notice we have a template. We can click the drop down arrow and you will probably see you have these two already created. Please come to the front desk or we are running late, and that will bring that information through automatically. Now, you might be thinking, oh, do you know what, Chris? I'm often needing to text message my customers and remind them of a patch test, or remind them to bring open-toe shoes, or remind them to that there's parking restrictions at the front. So if you find yourself constantly typing out the same custom message, let's create a template. So to the bottom left-hand corner, we can click New SMS Template. And simply create your own template here. We can use the same personalized fields that we've seen before by clicking the drop-down arrow. Let's say I work in a pedicure bar and I'm constantly reminding my customers to bring flip-flops or open-toe shoes. To save me continually writing out the text message, I've created my own template here. I'm going to click Save. And then, of course, when I tap onto the appointment, go to SMS Customer, I've now got my template there. And last but not least, you can do something very similar in your Shortcuts Fusion system. On the employee column at the top here, you can click onto the profile, you can click SMS clients, you can tick whichever one is applicable. So maybe 3 out of the 6 customers require a skin test, you can click the customers that require a skin test, and you can type out an SMS message here. Now, doing this via your main Fusion system, ladies and gents, there aren't any templates like they have in cloud, but you could always do something very simple and very clever, like create a template on Word or Notepad, and then just simply copy and paste it in. One other thing to remember, ladies and gents, is because this is not cloud-based, there are no personalized fields. So we'd recommend just putting something like we will not be able to add in the customer first name. Unless, of course, in this case, you are simply sending it to one client. You could, of course, write out the client's name like that, like hi, Jane. And then you would simply click Contact in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, last but not least, we have spoken about discount codes and discount reasons. So, of course, when that customer brings that discount in and we check them out, we need a way to run through all of the details. So, for example, if I was to check the customer out like this here, and they brought in the Valentine's discount or the happy birthday discount or whatever it may be, we would simply choose the discount option that we set up earlier. Now, when we run that through, we can then track that on our return on investment. We can see how many times that Valentine's discount was used and the monetary value associated with it. And that is all done via the cloud. So last but not least, we're going to go back to our cloud. On the left-hand side, we're going to go to our reports. We're going to go down to campaign summary here. You can set yourself a date range at the top, but by default, it will go to the current working week, and we can simply click View. And we can see any campaigns that have been sent out and any discount codes that were associated with a campaign and therefore used. We can see how many were sent, delivered, who opted out, bounce back. Now, responses if it was the discount code was used. So if the discount code was associated with an email or a text message and the code was used, that is classed as a response. The discount is the monetary value given off, so however much money was given away, and the sale was the bill after the discount was taken off. So it's a great way to also see, are we given too much discount? Is the bill not in relation to the amount of discount being given? So we can see just how well our campaigns are working for us. And that is it. That is our cloud-based marketing, our new feature pre-arrival email forms, and bespoke messaging. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you do have any questions, please feel free to drop those across to me now. It is also worth noting, please do stay tuned. We've got further masterclasses coming up to ensure you are maximizing the use of your system. If you do wish to get in contact with me further, you can do so at education@shortcuts.co.uk. That's education@shortcuts.co.uk. But like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to pop those across to me now. Perfect. So thank you ever so much for joining. Please do give us a like, and share, and subscribe on our socials. Thank you ever so much for joining me this morning. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. As always, my name is Chris, and have a beautiful day. Thank you ever so much. Take care. Bye-bye for now.